actively working with AMD to create a new handheld. This handheld would be the same in line as something as a Steam Deck. Oh my god, I would lose my freaking mind. Okay. I think this is a meme. I think this is not real probably. But the PlayStation handheld device that they sold was ridiculous. God, I love this Steam Deck though. Man, it's such a good product. Ah, fuck. I ride for it so much. Gaben needs to give me a fat sponsorship, even though I'm doing it for free all day, every day. The tech is so too expensive and useless to ever be adopted where I live in a massively used way. Most people have a phone, but this is too much. Yeah, but most people have a much more watered down version of the phones that people used to have. My point is, Little Bear, you're in South Africa, right? A lot of income inequality. Okay. The infrastructure is obviously not in the same level as the United States of America, and it's certainly not like across the board, right? When I suspect that if you go back to the 90s, and I can only speak on it from Turkey, right? Like, there were places in Turkey that were also utilizing mobile phones at the same time that America was, but across the board, you were still very much using landlines. Okay, like countries actually, other countries, developing nations especially, will be following the technological developments like 10 years after the fact. Like, it becomes more consumable and easy to access and actually genuinely utilized and adopted by the masses, 10 years later down the line. Yeah, think about the first mobile phones, bulky, the Nokia 5150. I think it was 51, 5110. Those things were indestructible, okay? But they were bricks. Okay, they were absolute bricks, but it was a keystone for the new tech we have now as mobile phones. I'd say a similar keystone is here. Exactly. 3310. So, yeah, I mean, it's inevitable that we move in this direction. But while that's happening, let's look at some of the dumb shit that people are doing with this new tech, okay? Like this guy. I mean, this is obviously a meme and incredibly dangerous, and you should never do this. Abi uyuyacağız ama ne zaman tier list? Oh, daha 1-2 saat var yani. 1 saat sonra geliyor kız. Turks. I hear none of the big disappointments in the FOV. There's an apparent binocular effect from reviewers and it kills immersion. Yeah, 5150 is a psych hold. I was wrong. There's also this. I mean, these are all memes. These are all memes. These are all memes. Okay? Obviously, this is not like real. People are just doing this for specifically the purpose of like filming it and making jokes about it. But yeah. Elon's brain chips will also handle this. I don't even want to talk about Elon's brain chips. Anyway, let's see what
recommend you should buy one of these at $4,000 because I can promise you this. This will be the worst Vision Pro Apple ever ships. It is going to get so much better. All right. And maybe I'll make another video that makes more sense of this, but
yeah. You're absolutely right about the access to internet in India. My grandma scammer lives in India and she sent him Google Play cards every month. It's so wholesome to see two people have a friendship that overcomes borders, time zones, and language barriers. Okay, dude. Yeah, if you're gooning on the go, 3 hours is not enough. You're absolutely correct. you can't be gooning all day with this, which is messed up. Okay, it's kind of fucked up. Where was the other one? Oh, here are the interesting apps and use cases so far. Learning piano with guiding tiles. I don't think you learn. Like, it's cool, but I don't think you learn that way. I don't think that's how human brains work, for the record. Like, and also this is like a technology that existed. It's not like Apple created the concept of augmented reality. So, just something to remember and something to consider, but like, can you learn how to play a guitar by playing Guitar Hero? A lot of people are saying no, and some people are saying yes. You're just yapping? Of course, that's what I do. I'm speaking Japanese. You're developing hand-eye coordination, maybe? I learned from Guitar Hero using just 5 buttons. But you're playing on a real piano. Yes, but there's another part about this that you need to remember. Okay, sure. There isn't a direct like haptic feedback or direct like well, I guess like you're still instead of like pressing the strings, you're still doing it's not the same. Yeah, it's a little bit different. This is like literally on the piano straight up. Not Guitar Hero, but yes, Rocksmith. With Rocksmith, you can. Yes, there's a game called Rocksmith that teaches you like a guitar, but with a real guitar. I feel like you're practicing the hand movements. Your brain is absolutely getting trained by this. I mean, here's a better analogy. Okay. Does painting by numbers or tracing legitimately make you a better painter or a better a person who can draw? I think that there is definitely some help that you get. You get a better feel for the mechanics. Maybe your hand becomes more steady. But I think that the real training still happens outside of the boundaries of this thing. So I'm saying that this doesn't hurt, but there's no way that this is a good substitute for like actual training. And I'm just thinking about it from the perspective of like what I do know. Okay. It's like training wheels, but eventually you have to take the training wheels off to learn how to bike. An AI helper. That's busted. That sucks. Yeah, this sucks. Real-time captions and translation. Okay, this one's kind of cool.
There's 2 places for coffee in my neighborhood. One is small and...
This is sick. This is fucking sick.
One is a bit bigger. Do you have a preference?
This is sick across the board. It's sick if it's like doing real-time translation. It's sick if it's actually giving you subs in real life too.
Oh, that's right. How was your trip?
Het was heel mooi. We vlogen naar Barcelona en toen hebben we de trein gepakt naar het dorpje. We zijn er 3 dagen geweest en we hebben vooral heel veel lekker gegeten.
but it's only one way, unlike a phone. No, this is great for like people who are hearing impaired. This is definitely accessibility cracked out. So sad that it's a fake language that they're using to demonstrate this. So like it kind of loses its impact a little bit, but it's great for accessibility.
En we zijn naar een paar wijngaarden gegaan. En het was ook nog heel lekker weer. Dus eigenlijk alles bij elkaar was gewoon heel fijn. Het was een mooie 4-daagse vakantie.
Touring homes for sale. I mean, I don't really give a shit about that, but my native language is not fake. Sorry to break it to you. We hebben ein serious problem is fake, okay? We hebben ein serious problem. Fake. Fake as fuck. Get the fuck out of here. It's also many Dutch people I feel like Dutch people themselves openly say it's fake. Like it's just like worthless as far as the language goes. I made an exact demo of this at a coding hackathon and it was shit. Disney Plus experience on Vision Pro. I don't care about this. Like, this is dumb. It's just yeah, dude, it's everything, okay? Everything that you can watch like this. That's so stupid. Draw to code. What? What is that? So much of the AI, so much of the new apps are all like everything that has AI in it is like built on the Chat GPT foundation, and it's just I feel like there's so much more that we need to do for this. Okay, I mean, this is also not like none of this is exclusive to Vision Pro or being bettered by wearable technology. The two things that I've seen thus far that actually do make sense is this, learning piano with guiding tiles. It can be helpful. And most importantly, I think it's this is the best one. This is the best thing because obviously this exists on your phone. You can use like real-time translation or even devices specifically designed for it. But having it be a part of your wearable technology creates a structure where like real-time subs exists on the planet. It's great for people with hearing impairment. It's great for real-time translation. All of that stuff is awesome. Only because I'm gonna be able to go to Japan and experience it with real-time subs. Taking cooking to the next level.
It is not recommended to prepare food while
All right, give me the Wall Street Journal review. I want to watch that
wearing
actually.
the Apple Vision Pro. Okay, sure.
Don't worry, my producers were standing by to make sure I was safe. Prepping food was really natural, especially...
I could cut onions all day in this. My eyes do not burn. This is amazing.
But the absolute best thing...
So I see the timer here, and now I can move it over the pasta. And now I have a second timer for 6 minutes that I'm putting over the mushrooms. This is just the coolest.
Was it perfect? No.
God damn it, dude. Come on.
You're still looking at life on a screen. In low light, I couldn't read things with smaller print because of pixelation.
Is there even pepper coming out? I cannot see it.
And some stuff just didn't look like the right color.
It is not recommended to...
Okay, that part is... It is cool, though. Why are you being such a hater? No, that's crazy. Okay? A $3,500 headset with timers? Like, dude, are you kidding me? That's just like, you're hyper-focusing on the novelty of it, which will, I promise you, not be utilized at all. This, too. Like, this is fun, and I feel like it can translate to better things, and not specifically this. Okay? this part doesn't, you know, this part is like, I don't know, F1 race in your living room. Okay, dude. This is kind of weird. Immersive memories, like that's also kind of weird. I don't really understand it. Like, I don't really understand what kind of impact this will have on our lives. Like, this is kind of dystopian. I mean, it sucks right now anyway, but like, it's great for people that hate doing things in general. PTSD simulator, that shit will fuck me up. People still read physical paper books, even though ebooks and e-readers are the most convenient and successful replacement. People just like tactile objects. I agree. And I don't think anything substitutes for a legitimate book, even though people swear by it to me, and I don't understand it. I will never, like, licking your finger and like turning the page. That shit is like, it's undefeated. But yeah, my point overall for this, okay, my point overall for this entire thing is that this is the future. It's just way too early for this to be like mass adopted. This product itself is not the product for mass adoption, if that makes sense. Like, this is not the product for it. This is not the time for it. This is not the product for it. It will get there. Okay, it will get there. And if you think that this is not going to happen, you're wrong. I'm telling you, it definitely will. Okay?
All right, so you've seen the unboxing. Now it's time for the breakdown. What is using the Apple Vision Pro actually like?
Yeah, I mean, this is the first iPhone? No, it's not the first iPhone. No, I think it's beyond. This is like even earlier than the iPhone. It's like the first smartphone, basically. No, it's not the first iPhone. It's the first smartphone. Or maybe the second smartphone. It's just like...
This is easily one of Apple's craziest, most radical, possibly dystopian products of all time.
I like that everyone was gassing up this video saying it's the greatest tech review of all time. And then there's this one guy who's like, he doesn't say much. Don't watch this video. It sucks.
And I have a lot of thoughts here. Like, I've been using it for about a week now. There are some parts of this thing that are absolutely incredible and some other parts that feel weird or borderline unfinished. There are all kinds of new technologies, from a new operating system to infrared eye tracking to virtually reconstructed versions of you. I feel like there are so many actually new things that you have to understand in order to get a sense of what this headset actually is and what it does. So I'm gonna break this down into two parts. This video is all about using the Vision Pro. It's everything I've learned from the past week of wearing and getting used to this thing every single day. But I'm also working on a more wide-ranging, possibly more existential review video. But let's just start with the more hardware fundamentals, right? Like, what is this thing that I'm holding, literally? Apple Vision Pro, at its core, well, it is a VR headset. Now, Apple would never say that, and they probably won't like that I'm saying that word. You know, I made an entire video about why they refuse to use those words, and they're calling it spatial computing instead. We'll get there. But the truth is, it's a really, really, really high-end virtual reality.
There's nothing funnier than trying to cut through the noise and trying to be like, no, this is not a bulky and very restrictive piece of technology. It's spatial computing. It's not AR or VR. It's something different. Because like everything you know about AR and VR is that it's like, it's bulky wearable technology that is like very limited, right? Except it doesn't matter what you call it. It's $4,500, dog, or $4,000. Who gives a shit? You already limited it dramatically, okay? You already paywalled it to a certain degree where it's like, Like, if you can buy a fucking Honda Civic, well, I guess not in this day and age, but if you could, back in the day, you could buy like a 91 Honda Civic. I remember a Jetta, a Volkswagen Jetta that was like $3,000. I bought this in like, when the fuck did I buy it? I mean, it was an old one. It was like a 91 Jetta, and I bought it in like 2010 or something, and I bought it for like fucking $2,000 or something. And it was just, you know, you can still buy a car. It barely works, but you can buy a car at that price point, and it fucking feels insane that like the thing you put on your head is the same price.
Headset. It's something we've seen before, right? It's got displays and lenses and speakers and fans and buttons, and this is a form factor. This is a thing that we have seen before. But before I even turn this thing on, there are clearly several things that are a little different about this one. So first of all, it's made of metal. Lots of metal and glass here, which are high quality but heavy materials, relatively speaking. So there's this precisely machined aluminum frame around the outside. And yes, those are intakes for fans at the bottom and then vents for those fans at the top. On the right side, there's your digital crown that can be pressed in or turned. And then on the other side is just a single larger button. So kind of basically the same 2 buttons as an Apple Watch. And then when you get a little further back on this band here, these little pods with downward facing grills, these are speakers, which are pointed straight at your ears and work surprisingly well. Though, of course, it also means that people around you can hear a little bit of what you're hearing. There's a little.
Isn't this the same as what's it called? Open back? Isn't that what it's called? Like studio headphones? I mean, I guess those are, or am I just like kind of? You can't be gooning in public, boys. You can't do that. You can't goon in public. Everyone's going to hear. Everyone is going to be hearing Skybree moaning. Okay? If you try to goon in public, they're going to know.
Little bit of bleed. And I have a lot to say about spatial audio, so stay tuned for that. But the main event is at the front. There is an enormous piece of glass, which, yes, is very easy to fingerprint and smudge. And then behind that thing, there's this outward-facing OLED display and a bunch of sensors all the way around, outside-facing sensors that go forward, sideways, and straight down. There's depth sensors, infrared illuminators, LiDAR scanners, and just regular old RGB cameras, all being processed by an M2 chip and an R1 chip inside this thing. And then maybe the craziest part is on the front of your face. So this is the battery, as you saw in the unboxing. If you haven't already seen the unboxing, that just went up. I'll link it below the like button. But this battery is a surprisingly small 3,366 milliamp hours. I say surprisingly small because a normal battery bank of this size, you might expect to be 10, 15, 20,000 milliamp hours. I suspect there's a lot of heat insulation happening here, but it comes with a non-removable 4-foot cable and a proprietary connector at the end of the cable that will twist and lock to the headset. And so the lock is really solid. It makes sense that it's not just straight USB that could get disconnected easily. Once you connect it, it starts glowing and then it starts booting up. And there's even a little Apple logo that displays on the outside screen while it takes, a little under a minute to turn on. So there is no on or off button or switch anywhere on this headset, maybe kind of like AirPods Max or something like that. So if you ever take the headset off and put it down, it will enter a standby mode after some time, but it won't turn off. If you want to turn it off, you literally have to twist and unplug the cable. That's the only way to actually turn the headset off. Now, famously already, the battery life with this included battery is not super long on this headset. 2 to 4 hours is actually realistic for what you can expect for just like this built-in battery. But that's also kind of right in line with a lot of other VR headsets. Battery life on VR headsets is not that great in general. If you do want to use it longer, the only way to do that is there's a USB-C port on the battery, and you have to plug the battery in. So you could plug the battery into the wall for infinite battery life, or I guess you could plug it into you could daisy chain another battery into the other pocket or something for even longer.
That's what Casey Neistat did. That's Apple's thing, garbage battery life. Dude, yeah, the fucking battery life is just like, Just ruin the battery by trickle charging it. I don't. It's just the battery life is so bad. I wanted to see if it was good or not. That's all I wanted to see.